Hello viewer, you're right on to the power circuit. It is proudly brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN to give you updates and scorecards in the Nigerian power sector. I trust you comply with safety rules when using electricity to maximize its benefits. This is Amara Agukesi. Let's walk through the headlines. Minister hopeful of improved electricity after rehabilitating distribution assets. New breakers, relays and control room to transform Shiroro transmission substation. Also coming your way is an expository interview with the Executive Director of Finance and Accounts at the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN, Mr. Chukwuka Ochije. He will be speaking about the reforms and capacity building efforts for the adoption of financial technology tools to promote seamless fiscal operations. Stay with the power circuits and you will be glad you did. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, has expressed hope that Nigerians will experience improved and sustainable electricity upon the rehabilitation of distribution assets in the power sector value chain. He stated this at a ceremony in Abuja to mark the signing of a contract between the FGN Power Company with Elsewedy and Power China to rehabilitate existing distribution lines and construct new ones.
The new project is part of the deliverables for the ongoing Presidential Power Initiative (PPI) being implemented by the FGN Power Company. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, while supervising the contract signing session, said the project marks a significant step towards achieving our goal of reliable and sustainable electricity for all Nigerians. The minister also said the federal government is committed and working with top-tier partners like Elsewedy and Power China to deliver on the promise. Under the PPI, 10 power transformers and 10 mobile substations have been delivered by the Siemens Energy to transmission substations operated by the Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN). They have increased transmission capacity by over 1,300 megawatts. According to the breakdown of the projects obtained from the Minister's office, the new contract to overhaul the distribution segment of the value chain involves the construction of 687 kilometers of new 33 kilovolts, 11 kilovolts and 400 volts distribution lines, and the rehabilitation of 1,983 kilometers of existing lines nationwide.
You may be aware that the Nigerian electricity transmission systems traverse the length and breadth of the country. The power circuit continues to bring you highlights of major advancements and upgrades across this system to you. Today we have brought you to the 330, 132, 33 kilovolts Shiroro transmission substation in Niger State. This facility, owned and operated by the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN for over 30 years, is being transformed with the replacement of breakers, isolators, relays, and the construction of a digital control room. Explore the substation with us.
In the control room of the 330 132 kV Shiroro transmission substation, which is also a sub-region, the General Manager Transmission Shiroro Regional Headquarters of TCN, Engineer Bala Musa, explained the various components of the control room.
We are in 132 kV control room, that's Shiroro control room. As you can see, we have the mimic board where we control and also see the status of the circuit element, that is the circuit breaker and also the isolators. This is the 132 kV panel, and here we can see we have 3 outgoing lines on 132. We have 132 kV Shiroro Mina line 1, 132 kV Shiroro Mina line 2, and then we have 132 kV Tegina line. Then we have 2 transformers, that is the 2 by 150 MVA transformers. Step down is 330, 132, 33. So the 2 transformers provide the 132 kV to bus bar 1 and bus bar 2. From here, we now evacuate the energy to Mina and also to Tegina.
A major improvement plan is being implemented by the management of TCN. A new control room will be built and the electromagnetic relays will be replaced with digital designs to improve efficiency.
They are not very sensitive. They are electromechanical. You understand? Now the TCN management is planning to replace all these electromechanical relays with what we call the modern relays, that is the digital relays. The digital relays are just very sensitive and very effective. They have other features. One digital relay can replace 10 of these in just one compartment. And that digital relay has ability of even locating, like the distance protection relay. It can locate approximately where a fault occurs. And that will reduce the downtime in finding out the location of a fault. And also is very sensitive. They are just like human being. They are a computer. You know how computer works. It's very effective in any performance you want it to do. So the digital relays are the one that will be used to replace all these ones in the new control room that is coming up very soon.
Engineer Musa also expressed the desire of the TCN management to build more capacity of students and the TCN staff on how relays work.
Once it is completed, all this one will just be here for maybe demonstration to show students. But the one that will be effective are going to be the numerical relays that are more sensitive.
For the incoming digital relays, they will accelerate the pace at which faults are detected and addressed at the substation.
During the process of vandalism, you can create fault, because vandalism is trying to stop the flow of electricity. How do you do that? Probably by cutting, destroying the insulation that's supposed to be there, because when you have that perfect insulation, the electricity flows. But once you reduce the insulation, or you even cut off the insulation, then you are creating fault. So the relay will be able to tell us the distance and also show us the magnitude of what flows during the fault, like the current, the voltage. But it cannot be able to detect person maybe trying to perform any unaccepted acts. Yes, but the relay can be able to tell us that, okay, at so and so distance, something happened. You have a fault. And it can also tell you what kind of fault is it. Is it what you call, there's a fault we call earth fault, probably a conductor or an insulator that has a link with the ground. That is the earth. That is what we call earth fault. It can be overcurrent, whether some conductors join together. So the relay will be able to show us that.
Also expect a major work at the switchyard of the Shiroro substation, with total overhaul of this equipment to modern circuit breakers and isolators.
Most of the equipment you can see there are manufactured since 1980, and they are still working. They are still working because the maintenance men are doing what they are supposed to do. They are maintaining the equipment so that you can have an optimum operation. But the TCN management is now trying to replace all this equipment with the modern circuit breakers. So the work is part of the control room work is part of the rehabilitation work that will soon be done. The equipment are already on ground. The circuit breakers are there. The isolators are there. 18 number circuit breakers will be replaced. That is the total number of circuit breakers here will be replaced with new ones, so that TCN can be able to transmit as in her one of the mandate that can transmit electricity in most effective and efficient manner. So TCN is gradually achieving the vision. We have the circuit breakers parts. We have the interrupter heads. We have the CTs. They are all inside this crate. So as time goes on, when the control room is fully completed, then the replacement of the obsolete circuit element, the switch gears, will commence immediately. We have already brought everything. They are all on ground. So very soon, we are going to see how we can fast track the completion of that control room, so that very soon these ones will be positioned so that we can be able to use it effectively as expected.
Let's catch up with the interview segments after this break.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmits bulk electricity from power generating companies, GenCos, to distribution load centers of distribution companies, DISCOs, nationwide. At TCN, we transport bulk electricity at very high voltage to DISCOs, who now off-take it and distributes it directly to electricity customers nationwide. TCN does not generate electricity. We transport the quantum of power generated to distribution load centers. TCN does not distribute electricity directly to electricity consumers. Our job stops where that of the DISCOs begin. TCN, transmitting bulk electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
Here you are on the interview segment of the Power Circuit. Today we have with us the Executive Director, Finance and Accounts at the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN, Mr. Chukwuka Ochije. Right in his office, Mr. Ochije took the crew through the reforms and capacity building for the adoption of financial technology tools to promote seamless fiscal operations. Bet you will have loads of information listening to him. What role does the office play in supporting the operation of TCN?
Yes, we'll give financial support, and we'll make sure that we'll keep the books of account of Transmission Company of Nigeria, which showcase the assets of the Transmission Company of Nigeria. That's among the major roles that we'll play. We'll do the financial planning and budgeting, as well as we'll do financial reporting, we'll do the financial control, and EDF and A also work with other management staff of F&A to ensure that the company's goals and the synergy of the authority is being met.
You have a number of departments in this unit. Now, what are these departments that you supervise?
We have so many departments. The department in TCN, in F&A, sprang among various areas, because one of the key factors in finance will deal with the foreign forex and will deal with the Nigerian naira. Now, the department involved will have the final accounts, will have the management accounts, will have the fixed assets, will have the accounts payable. We'll have another section of the F&A that is known as the taxation. We'll have the insurance. Then we'll have the what we call domestic treasury service. We'll have the revenue settlement. Revenue and settlement, we'll have the international treasury service. We'll have the banking operations. and we'll have the salaries and wages. Under each of these sections, we'll have a mini other unit that handle the activities of F&A in general.
Okay. You are new in office, obviously.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your experience so far?
Well, I saw an experience that something one knows how to do better. Understand? You don't get afraid of it. Though it's quite challenging, but due to the experience one has acquired over time, we were able to surmount most of the challenges. Because when you look at there is nobody that has a adequacy or monopoly of funds, or have adequacy of funds. Funds are not actually at one's disposal, but the little we'll have, we'll see how we'll manage it.
You are a transparency and accountability advocate. So what are the ways you have used to champion these two here in TCN?
You see, majority of the what we do has to do with the procurement. Now, and the first aspect of being transparent is having an open and competitive bidding process. You know that before a contractor comes in to execute any job, there has to be a process. We must make sure that we follow the due process of procurement. We start with the tender opening, bidding. Understand? The bidding process will make sure that all contractors must ensure fairness and will prevent corruption. We'll make sure that we'll have a list of all our contractors and we'll pick them based on competence and we'll pick them based on the fairness of the value. Because what will ensure that we must ensure that the value that is being given, that will have value addition to any money spent in TCN. Now, these are one of the processes that we adopt. There are other processes that we adopt in terms of when you look at the issue that has to do with the publication of most of the job that is being done. They do publication in the national, at least three national dailies. Then from there, we'll pick them. Then we'll equally look at the difficulties involved, understand, in some of the terrain that we walk. So what we'll do, because of the vast nature of TCN, because TCN almost covered every aspect of the nation. There is no state TCN does not have representation in that state. So what we'll do, we'll ensure that whatever project that is being done, projects are being systematically segmented. We'll have the process of awarding the contract, which goes through a normal procurement process before a contractor is being selected. We'll now take it further. After evaluation, they do, after tender opening, they do evaluation. After evaluation, it goes to the tender board. TCN tender board handle the level of limit of what TCN can handle. If they see TCN tender board, we will now escalate it to ministerial tender board. Then when the job is being procured, then the process of monitoring is there. Our various departments that are cut across, they have an input. If we take jobs that are being done outside the headquarters, like outside stations, we'll have our field officers will ensure compliance based on the specification of the job. Then we'll have the audit department, which will ensure there is value for money in every of our transactions.
Well done. Now, how fast is your team integrating information technology in the company's financial
When
management?
you look at the integration of our issues, our businesses here, we have so many of them. Recently, there has been a deployment of enterprises resource planning, which we call ERP. Then it's one of the best standard tools to ensure compliance of most of our operations, which is being deployed in TCN. We'll have other IT-based system that will as well employ and carrying out activities in the F&A. And majority of the staff we have are IT based because we are drafting towards that system. By the time we have full implementation of our ERP, it means that most of the paperwork will gone. And very soon, the staff is being trained and retrained.
What specific training needs has TCN covered for the staff?
We have staff actually get involved with most of the job that we've done. This informed me that there will be training and retraining. We'll make use of what we have as the uniform system of accounting. We'll have the environmental, social, and governance. Then we'll have advanced Excel, which will take our staff often for such training. We do deploy them for training periodically. We'll look at the period. And majority of the staff in F&A, they belong to one, either a chartered accountant, they belong to one organization, association like the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Some are in NANAN, you understand? Then some are in CISA. We have CISA and we have CISIN. They are all different set of professional accounting bases. So there must be a continuous assessment. We allow them to go for such training.
That was an expository session with the Executive Director of Finance and Accounts at the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Mr. Chukwuka Ochiji. You can see how the management of TCN has improved fiscal operations at the company by leveraging financial technology. Always watch out for this segment to get extensive information about power transmission activities in Nigeria. Here are the headlines again. Minister hopeful on improved electricity after rehabilitating distribution assets. New breakers, relays and control room to transform Shiroro transmission substation. We also brought to you an expository interview with the Executive Director, Finance and Accounts at the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Mr. Chukwuka Ochiji. He spoke about the adoption of financial technology tools to promote seamless fiscal operations. To get more from the power circuits, kindly view this episode and the previous ones on the TCN YouTube channel. Kindly connect with TCN on all its social media platforms by liking the TCN page on Facebook via Transmission Company of Nigeria. You can also follow TCN on X, formerly Twitter, by searching for @TCN_Nigeria. Experience TCN and its activities on Instagram as you click TCN_Nigeria. TCN officials are always there to receive your observations and comments by email to affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. For more information about the company's activities, go to the interactive website www.tcn.org.ng. There is also an information site www.tcnnews.ng where TCN keeps you updated about power sector activities. Please continue to do your best in guarding against vandalism of power transmission lines, towers and substations in your locality. The management of TCN is working round the clock to always improve on bulk power evacuation for national development. Keep a date with us next week. I am Amara Agogoesi and I'm saying thank you.